thing you want to do is you want to cook your noodles and you want to set them to the side. And then we're going to stir fry them. So you'll add your oil. And what you're going to do is you're going to stir fry your oil with your curry. And I like to cook the curry first because if you don't cook the curry first, some people, they get stomach aches, which was kind of shocking to me. They get stomach aches. So you want to cook your curry a little bit in the oil. Alright? And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add our ginger. And we're going to fry that. And with the ginger, we're going to add some chili. Some people like to add fresh chilies, but to me, dry chilies are just as good. I'm going to add a few chilies with that. And because I want a little extra kick, I'm going to use some, use a little man that has 3 children and no job. We're going to use some dried ginger to give it a little extra kick. And the reason why I'm using a dry herb is because dry herbs are good when you want to substitute or you want to work them together with a fresh herb. In other words, like sometimes, your NFL player might be on the road and you need somebody to buy those drinks. And the only one you can get to buy the drinks is the guy that you went to high school with. But see, now he has 3 children and he gets SSI. He don't got no money and he's good for. Okay, I'm going to add some Napa cabbage and scallions. Then I'll add some white onions. Then I'll add some red peppers. Then I'll add a little rice wine. Mushrooms, cilantro, and then that's our stir-fried noodles with Singapore lamb curry. What we'll do is we'll put this in a bowl, get ready to serve that for our noodle party. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to make our paella noodles. Now I know in the recipe I said that you should use a lot of seafood, but today I'm making a romantic noodle party for 2. And this man happens to be a frozen herb. He has children. I don't know what this is gonna, how this is gonna pan out. So I'm not trying to go out buying lobster and spending all that money or somebody that I don't know what might happen. Now I can understand if this was Marvin Jones, if this was NFL. Yes, bring out. This is an investment we're talking about. Yes, bring out that lobster. But this is a frozen herb. So what we're gonna do is we just gonna put chicken in this fire. That's enough, okay? Ain't nobody got money to be spending on a liability. This ain't definite, so I'm not spending all that money. A lot of guys say, well, no, you shouldn't be that way, This could be the man of your dreams, not when you're working for transit and you got 2 kids. So anyway, this is more like an appreciation meal to show him I appreciate his movies and take me out and buy me drinks and buy me an occasional Coach bag. I appreciate what you do. And like I want to talk about later on, appreciation meals, they go both ways. you're going to find out, I'm going to find out whether this man is a keeper by the way he acts after this meal. If he says that my meal is nothing to him, then I know he is not the man for me. Now, like I said, I added some oil. That's the chicken, and I'm going to use white onions and some veggies and peppers and broccoli and all that, right? So I'm going to saute this, okay? Now, when you're making paella, you have to have spices. So what you want to do is, you want to take a cup of water, and you want to add saffron and some 2 tablespoons of oil, and you want to add, and you want to put it in the water, and you want to mix it, so that therefore the noodles get the yellow color that you're looking for. Now the recipe is on the page, okay? You know, I shouldn't have to go through all this with y'all. You got the recipe, it's on the page. You can read. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add that saffron and the oil and the water. And it's going to give me this red color. Alright? And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add more noodles. Because remember, this is a noodle party. So the paella is not going to have rice. It's going to have noodles. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this and you're going to stir this up together. Right? And you're going to let this spaghetti take on the color of the paella, which should be like a yellow type of color. And this is your paella noodle. Now, I didn't put a bunch of seafood in this because, like I said, I don't know what's going to happen. This man might come over and start getting very underappreciative, like saying things like, oh, I can cook for myself. So therefore, I'm not putting too much into this. And that's your paella noodle. Good enough. Okay, now I'm making the saute. I'm making the lo mein. So I added some ham, some green onions, some napa cabbage, some peppers, and some mushrooms. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm stir frying it. Next, I'm going to add some rice wine. Okay. Now, I like my lo mein dark, so I'm going to use brown. And you can get any kind you want. You can use the Jamaican one for all I care less. Alright? So you can put some of that in there. You already got fresh ginger. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of dry ginger. Okay? And then I'm going to add some nutmeg. Just a little bit. Malcolm X reapers. Used to call reapers. They used to drink nutmegs so they could feel like they had some reapers when they was in prison. Remember that? You watch Malcolm X autobiography? To drink that nutmeg. Alright? And then we have white pepper. Now you can see really good. Everything's extremely dark. Then we're going to add a little bit of soy sauce. We're going to stir fry that up. And remember, lo mein is all about the color. Okay? And we're going to add some noodles to this lo mein. Now some people like to use a little bit of molasses in their lo mein. You know, you can use that if you want to. That's up to you. You got that kind of money? You got that kind of money to be spending on molasses and all that? I knew you was paid. I knew it. Alright, so that's your lo mein. So you just let that you'll let that soak up some of that color. Okay? And then we'll put that in the serving dish on the table. So that's basically it. And the next thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna fry some chicken wings to add on to what I'm cooking. Add to my meal. And that's the meal. That's our chicken wings. And then we have our lo mein and our paella. And that's our curry noodles. And that's how our meal looks. And it's a very simple meal, right? But it's enough for 2 people. And it shows him how much you appreciate the things that he's done for you. But in the same note, you don't want someone who's going to say that your noodles are nothing to them. And that's why you have an appreciation meal. To see what kind of man you really are.